Hey everyone, welcome to my channel ASP.NET Core, and today I'm going to tell you about how to start your e-commerce project with the Dapper and just start with the API. So I'm going to tell you about the first step is to going to with the Dapper and the API in e-commerce application. You have three projects in a solution. The first project is the that is Manik.api, and this is my project name, that is Manak, and that one is the API project. Okay. So here we have a Manak.api project and Manak.application project and Manak.contracts project. Manak.api is a API project, API template you can say, and Manak.application is a class library project, and Manak.contract is a also a class library project. Manik.contract actually contain a request and response objects for your projects. Okay, so here we have a contract, you know, con that one is a contract between the client and the server, and here we have the request and the response objects. So that one is the request and response objects. So request actually contain the categories. Under the categories we have create category request and get all category request, like that. Okay, and also here we have a page request. Now that in the response we have the categories also. So you know that one is the category response and validation failure response also there. So just getting started with the controller of your API, and also just to start with the application layer. Now in the application layer we have a entities. That first entity is the category entity. Now the relationship between the category and the product is one to many. I just take it. So that one is my category, and a category have multiple products. So this is the relation between the category and the product is the one to many. Now here we have a public ID, name of the product, description of the product, price, image URL, category ID, and the category have the foreign key under the product table. Okay, so now just after create two entities in a project, just I want to create a relation with the database table. So just create a database just after that. So you can create a DB connection factory class. So here we have an interface that is IDB connection factory, and IDB connection factories can contain a single method that is create connection async, that is a synchronous method, and that will return IDB connection. And IDB connection also that is exist in the system.data namespace, and also you can pass it the cancellation token. Okay, now just after that you can create a SQL connection factory. Also you can create a postgre connection factory, but right now I'm using only SQL connection. So public class SQL connection IDB connection factory, and IDB connection factory actually have a single method that is create connection factory. Okay, so here we have a SQL connection factory constructor, inject it as a connection string. Now here we have a single method that is create connection, and create connection contains the cancellation token. So similarly we have a connection that is a SQL connection that contain the connection strings, and you can just call it connection dot open async with the token. That is my cancellation token, and return it the new connection. Okay, so that is my database. And now just after that you can call it a DB initializer class, and DB initializer class also have a IDB connection factory, and DB initializer class actually create product and the category table under your single database. That is my database name is, you can contain your database name under the connection string, that is the database Manik DB. Okay, so what is inside your DB initialization? DB initialization have as initialize async method, and inside your initialize async methods, first of all create a connection with the help of DB connection factory class, that is the create connection. Now just after that you can just use execute async method. The first execute async method is used if not exist. Select a strict from system object where name equals to categories and x type is user, and begin, and that is create table categories id name, that is identity not null. And the second one is the products table. So here we have a product table. So first of all, check if it is not exist. Select a strict from system object where name is product and x type is u, that is user, and begin with the create table products. And id name, description, price, image url, category id. And also you can add a constraint, and that is constraint is the foreign key constraint. So just add if constraint, or you not need to add a constraint, but I want to add a constraint for on delete behavior. So add a constraint, foreign key constraint, foreign key. First of all, just create a foreign key of the category ID, references of category of cat ID, and on delete behavior is cascade, on delete cascade. Also, you can create a index here, that is category ID. So create index on products table, and that is category ID is a index. Okay, so that is my db initializer class, and you can just call it both connection and the db initializer under the services first. So here we have a, that one is my application, and here we have a dependency injection. And dependency injection class is a extension class. So that one is my extension method, add application services and add application database. Application services contain I contain repository, that is later on I will discuss on the I category repository. Okay, so here we have a add application database, and under the add application database we have a singleton service, that is idb connection factory, and that is implemented by the class sql connection factory, and in just take it a connection string. Now the add singleton also db initializer class. So both classes are and interfaces are initialized. Now just after that you can call it both methods under your in your program.cs class. So here we have a builder.services.add controller, and here we have a connection string, that is builder.configuration.get connection string default connection. And here we have a builder.services.add application database, that is connection string, and builder.services.add application services. Okay, now just after that call db initializer class in your at the place of the middleware, that is application, that is my builder.app is builder.app sorry builder.build, that is web application. So web application have and services, so just to get required service, that is db initializer, and db initializer call to initialize a sync method. Okay, that's cool. Now just after that you can run your project, and your both tables are created well. Okay, now just after that you can create a repositories. So under your repositories you can see the operations on the categories. So just the next part, that is a repositories, and here we have a I category repository. Now I category repositories also contain the basic operations on the categories. So here we have a category equals to, that is create category, category, update category, delete category by id, and exist category by id, and get by id async, and get all async. That these are the methods. And here we have a get all categories with their options, get all categories options. All categories options, I mean to say that you can just put it the pagings as well. Okay, so that return it I enumerable type of category, and that one that it return is category bool. These all are the bool based on the bool. Okay, now the next part is to repository, category repository. Now here we have a category repository here, that is category repository, and inside it you can take it idb connection factory initialized in the constructor first. Now the next part is to create async. Create async, I mean to say that db connection factory dot create connection. First of all, create a connection with the help of token. Okay, and just after that start the transaction. That is using where transaction is connection dot begin transaction. Now that after that you can use a Dapper, that here we have a connection dot execute async, and also you can use command definition. Now the command definition also, that is the first one is to add a query, insert into categories, name, values, and just put it the parameters, that is categories, transaction, cancellation token, and just after that you can use transaction dot commit, and it will return the result and is greater than 0. So this is the first step of your e-commerce project, where you have to create your categories. Okay, so similar all these operations are done, like get all categories, get all async. I will create it later videos, but right now it's enough to describe about the project. Okay, so thank you guys for watching this video and keep watching remaining videos.